Do you like this more than traditional blue-black? I don't know. I like a lot of what's happening here for sure, but it's a bit early for me to say that this is better than stock blue-black. Two of our 3 sewers already in our hand. Do you think it's better than Turns deck? I don't know. The Turns deck was really good. Really nice. Okay, this is not a good matchup for such a land-heavy hand, especially drawing another land for turn. The Turns deck was so sick, too. I've been really wanting to play it in a challenge. What are you doing here? You're an Asmo deck, aren't you? Can't fool me. Yeah, it could be Shadow, I guess. I think I gotta play a Sewers here. How about I thought about Force of Despair on the sideboard for Titan? Well, creature removal against Titan can be a little bit of a Force of Despair in of itself, since if your opponent is just good, they can play around like Solitudes and Forces, and if they're not, it sometimes will win. It's kind of hard for them to play around it, but at least in this deck, I want to play Harbinger of the Seas instead, a card that I can kind of guarantee will be good. They have 4 cards in their hands, so many. I'm a little paranoid to tap out of Spell Snare. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the hit. Just so unlikely that they play anything. Well, take that back. It is Hot Shadow. Guess we're hardcasting next turn. Kind of doubt they take the Echo. Let's block, I think. So imagine they counterspell this. I guess the problem is if they now have a fetch land, we have to chump block. Spike, I think Ugin just straight up replaces Ulamog in your Archery deck. It's be mega broken. Well, Ugin is mega broken. I agree that I don't think that it's gonna be a discovery to be like Ugin goes in this Ugin's Labyrinth deck. You know what I mean? Is it an Ugin's Labyrinth deck? I'm gonna play it for Ugin. Okay. Oh, I guess I can push because I have the graveyard and the Echo in the graveyard. So let's go push into Flashback and Echo and try to. We can kill both of these potentially. Maybe they have a Force. No Force. All right. So I really don't want to mess this up. I think I'm going to intentionally miss 1 point of damage so I don't accidentally mess up the stacking here. Also, this is better if they find if they have a Street Wraith. Because I still get to kill both shadows, I think, if I flash into another Bowmaster. Yeah, I know first had to be face, but also if they drew Wraith, this was worse. And again, I'm just a little bit worried about, we've made some mistakes on this channel before. What can you say? probably good enough to keep. So let's play the frog. Oh no, I don't know how we got to instep. Frog in the hand. See, I thought it was just nice because we make it to where they have two kind of creatures they need to deal with. Let's let that go. How do you feel about iteration these days? Is the card too slow or too awkward to play? You can play iteration. I've trophied with iteration within the last few months, but it isn't exactly a card that I particularly recommend either. I think it's a card I would describe as just fine if you can find a deck that it fits in, but it doesn't fit in very many decks. Am I a fried rice kind of guy or go for low man? I go for a white rice. I'm on a health kick. It's 1 damage, I think better to play around Wraith. I think so too. We say as our opponent's at 1 life. Well, yeah, I don't think we care a lot about this card, so let's go and let it resolve. While that 2 years ago, it was potentially Modern's best card advantage spell and only debatably playable these days. I don't think it's debatably playable. I think Iteration is a playable Modern card de facto, but it's a Modern card that doesn't fit in any deck that exists, which I think is a distinction that you want to make. Maybe it's a little too semantic-y, but to me I think it's a kind of important distinction. I feel like Deluge is a lot worse against the Shadow build. Probably play 1 or 0. I might just go in 3 Dispute, out 3 Force. Probably -1 Narset, +1 Spellbomb, -1 Echo, plus another Spellbomb. Let's do this. Talking about Yerba Mate stream. I thought about drinking it, but something makes me hesitant. I mean, I like it. Don't come to me for nutrition advice, but I stopped drinking it because coffee is too acidic for me. Boros iteration win. I feel pretty confident Unstable Amulet's better than iteration and Boros, if that's worth anything. Got a pretty good hand here. There's a real place between not good enough for the format and format doesn't have a place. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, like Unstable Amulet draws more cards than Iteration does. You can cast it turn 2, where Iteration is a turn 3+ card. It doesn't require you splashing an extra color, and it also deals passive damage to your opponent. So I don't know. I know people really hate Unstable Amulet, but I do feel it's confidently it's better. I think I'm gonna slam the frog here. With us not having another land in our hand, I think it's important to just use your mana. Yeah, Frog was a blue-red card. Iteration be all over the place. You know, one kind of interesting thing about the Surveil lands is that you really want to be 2 colors because of Surveil lands. This is just kind of becoming, I'd say, even more and more apparent to me. Amulet iterations of combo, just play both. You can't play both. I mean, we trophied with a build that was playing both a little while ago. Then is it build? Keep a card on top. Hard time imagining this works since they know about the snare. Oh. Didn't imagine hard enough. You could play Narset here, you could crack Spellbomb, play Frog, you could crack Spellbomb, hold up mana, you could play Frog, hold up Dispute. All of these seem pretty dang reasonable. I think I'm going to go for the Frog line. And I think I'm going to go... okay, they force pitch Counterspell. Let's go ahead and say no Murktide here. Do you think it's a problem for multicolored decks to be so pushed? I don't know what you're asking. Do you feel that multicolored decks are pushed? In fact, in modern, it's certainly okay. They have subtlety. In modern, it seems like we're seeing a shift away from like 3, 4, 5 color decks into 2 color decks. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't exactly seem like they are pushed. They could have Otawara also. Yeah, objection, leading question. But I also don't really know what you mean by that. Ah, classic shock bluff. I guess maybe they're thinking about Spell Pierce too. Kind of shocking they didn't counter back. I would snap counter back. I guess they knew about the Narset though. I see I meant not monocolored. I don't. It's Magic the Gathering. Like there's very few monocolored decks ever. I don't think it's problematic to be pushing decks that are 2 colors plus. Oh yeah, they're also Death Shadow deck. Forgot about that. Alright, feeling pretty ahead here. Getting in. They might have attacked with a token. Yeah, but they also might have drawn on the Spell Snare or Counterspell. Yeah, it's just Surveillance seem to be better, like significantly better than Triome Leyline Bindings, especially because you have other setup cards like Tune the Narrative. Probably do this. You have other setup cards like Tune the Narrative, into Wrath of Skies, and Relic into Ketramos as options. I like the Esper Ketramos control deck we played yesterday. So yeah, I would like it's. I think it's nice that that Surveillance are so good that you just want to move away from binding. Also, it's like disenchants are getting like always incidentally a little bit better. We're on a 5-match win streak here. I think we have like a kind of interesting looking last ride list, but I'm not gonna play it again until like Solitude is less popular. Like we actually like just back to the multicolor conversation. Like this, I built this deck as a Grixis deck with looting, and then it now seems like really clear that that was wrong, and that we should just have been 2-color the whole time because your mana is just so much smoother. Another push is pretty good. I think this Geier Reach is making things a little bit too awkward for it, though. I'm going to graveyard it, but not sure. When's the last time you ran into No Watch Brew? Really recently, actually. We played against... Well, I guess it's not that they were playing it, but they had played... Actually, with Force of Negation, we could just play the Frog, right? Yeah. Maybe I should have got Watery Grave, though, so I can go Bowmaster push easier next turn. I mean, last month or two, you played several mono blue decks, mono black, mono red. Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't feel like multicolor stuff is being pushed, and so I would say no leading questions next time, maybe. So I can discard 2 and then 2 more, or I can just force. Let's just force. Is Monkey back on the list? It's been pretty stock in Boros, yeah, for a while now. I think it's been solid. Especially now that Boros is not like the big problem with Monkey and Boros for a long time was that it wasn't very good in the mirror, but you don't really run into that issue anymore. All right. What was wrong with looting in the deck? I've been playing 3 with some deep analysis. They seem good. I mean, the card Faithless Looting is quite good, but coming at the opportunity cost of a whole extra color when you could basically just play Tainted Indulgence instead, and you get Harbinger in the side, and you like your mana is like much less painful, and your Undercity Sewers are much better, and your counterspells are much better, and you get to play Geier Reach. Just like all of this is better than looting. What was banned from Energy? Ring and Gigantha, in addition to Amped Raptor. Three cards banned. Dude, it is so nice that Gigantha's gone, by the way. Like, I don't, it's kind of hard to talk about, like, this effect, but very good ban. I think it was looting is the only card that lets you go turn 3 Bowman Echo. Yeah, but it's I think it's just fine. I mean, that was my thinking too, but you know, we were playing the Grixis, we were 1 and 2, we're now 5 and 1. Not the biggest sample size, but I think it's big clear this is the better direction. I know I'm wrong, kind of missed Raptor. I mean, Raptor was really fun. It was also like certainly all the most broken starts had Raptor. And when Raptor casts like a 3 or 4 drop on turn 2, it was like, what the fuck is this card? There were so many games where I was like, okay, they're casting the Spyro. There were so many games where I was like, okay, I win if my opponent doesn't have Raptor into Blood Moon. It's turn 2. They just would have it like every time. All right, they do have a Flage in the yard, which is a problem. Not anymore. Unfortunately, I guess I should have done that first. Oh, Xaxes. Thought it was 1 short. Cool. So we never did Raptor, Core Skyfisher, Raptor, and Stable Amulet. I mean, there's you don't never play Core Skyfisher. There's a Fairy that's better, but it's also like that could have been cool, but there are just better things to do, you know. I kind of want to play 1 Force. Something like this. I think it's pretty close to sideboard last time. I think I cut all the forces last time. No, let's keep. Hope they don't play Pride turn 1, because I kind of have to push that. I guess not. I could maybe go Tamiyo into Indulgence flip. They play Guide, which I can ignore for a turn. Dink. Might want to play around Blood Moon this game. Okay, that's good, because now you're just going to go Tamiyo push next turn. Why do we play 3 Piss lands in this deck? They remind me to stay hydrated. Doctor's orders. Yeah, I honestly, I just keep playing them because I think they're funny how often people comment on them. It's the 100% the reason why I keep playing these. I also think they look pretty ugly, but I've been enjoying joking about them. So if they jump this Guide of Souls, maybe next turn I can go ping the token and then attack the Ajani, cast second Bowmaster, kill Ajani. Two damage, 1 clue. Let's go for the 2 damage. This is fine, right? Wouldn't it be fine without the second Bowmaster? It's also not fine if they plus. Okay, anyway, we just get to go kill a token, kill a token, kill a Johnny. And Indulgence. Imagine if we find Echo of Indulgence, although you're down to only 2 echoes. Alright, seems like we should not throw away the gift that is another Psychic Frog here. This guide is still a problemo. Turns out, can deal with 2 Ajani's with 2 Bowmasters. Guide is a big problem. They have 1 card in their hand, though. So we're going to go down to 4? Guess so. Can deal 2 damage with Geier Reach next turn. Oh, my goodness. Man, no think, just wheel. Just go face, right? The frog is gonna... So this is 14, so they go down to 9, and so they have to have the ability to kill my frog and kill the orc army. Let's go in. Can snare a Thraben Charm. Alright, so my orc army's now out of discharge range, and so is my frog, of course, so... Feeling pretty good here. They could have the card Lightning Bolt. That one still gets the job done occasionally. Let's go, dude. 6-match win streak? What would you place in Eldrazi Tunes for new Ugin? I mean, any card. Devour, I guess. Alright, a card that Ragavan doesn't mess with stays on top. How many times do you play Breach in a week, would you say? I think we've only played against it like once this week, maybe 0 times. It seems like we're a lot more likely to play against it in a challenge still. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. Not that often. If we played against it this week, it was on Monday too. I'm coming off also a sleepless night still. Okay, why do they sack the treasure for this Ocelot? Just Boros? I could want to surveil, maybe? It's interesting. So if I draw a land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 7 is plus 1 is 14 damage, so not super likely to kill them next turn. Okay. So last time I forced, and I got by the Static Prison. What I kind of like about discarding 2 here is that I have 1 card I already want to discard for value. And then I kind of make it a little bit awkward where if they attack with the prize, I just block a pride and I discard only 1 more card. Also, if they go 0 damage into another Galvanic Discharge, we just force. And then they maybe don't get to do anything. They've got only 2 cards here. Corn Chips, think with the 63 months. I'm a noted Counterspell hater playing 0 copies. I guess it's just like if you play these decks, you don't play Counterspell. Like you're like, well, I sure hope I, don't queue into Breach or Titan or Storm or any of these things, because your deck just ain't fast enough. It's a good draw. In fact, I think I could just go to combat. Well, So like a little awkward if they triple block and I go to combat. Although I guess they would never do that, so maybe that's not a good thought. Ooh, I drew Bowmaster. Yeah, draws have been pretty good. I gotta cast that one. Please don't Spyro. Please don't Season Pyromancer. Please. No, Lucy got sprayed by a skunk at like 4 a.m. So me and Esther lost her a bunch with baking soda and hydrogen peroxide and soap. And thankfully we got it contained enough, and so it's not too funky in here. Got the we do have the windows open, so it's kind of hard to tell. No, not Season Pyromancer. No. So they're just dead, right? Well, getting pretty used to sideboarding in this matchup. I'm gonna put one more Echo, one less Narset. Immediately don't love that. So I think this is what I did earlier. I think Force was really good. I'm gonna keep the other Force in. Especially on the draw, just like Tamiyo or Frog with Force up, just pretty good. Also Force with Echo is pretty good in general. So we're 80% on that earlier hand. We're probably like 60% here. But also not any land is good for us. I think we should mulligan this one, but a hand I don't love to have to mulligan. Could keep this. It's been a week in Manhattan smelling of skunk because a good dog got sprayed the night before it left and tried to spy my bedroom. Yeah, it's so bad. It happened. So also we're really happy that Lucy got sprayed and not Athena, because Athena has this like thick fur, and Athena also hates getting baths. She like throws such fits, but Lucy is good and she has short fur, so it's a lot more manageable. Yeah, just any land, any card that doesn't good for Ragavan, keep on top. Do you bring a paper cyborg guide to you in person events or my big brain? I've done both. Usually I just memorize. But in general, you should just bring a cyborg guide. There's like really no reason not to. They keep doing this. They keep sacking this, casting us off the treasure. Like, never seen that. You get basic island first. Yeah, thankfully Esther caught it super fast. I was still asleep. Yeah, they might really need the surveil. I just feel like I never see people take this line. Is it the card Thoughtseize just not good anymore for sideboards? You can play Thoughtseize. It's never like a mandatory card. Typically, I prefer to main deck Thoughtseize instead of sideboarding it. I think I sideboarded Thoughtseize like literally yesterday, though. But you can play Thoughtseize. Got one card in their hand. Almost feels like we could afford to wait until we play Sheoldred to cast the Echo. We'll see. Maybe I should have attacked. I feel like they were playing Felia for like a little bit. In our college, our house dog, Part Husky, got sprayed by skunks 4 times in 3 weeks. That's rough. Yeah, so we're not really sure what we can do to avoid the skunking going forward, because this is our second skunking. I don't know if they'll respect a sign if we put up a sign, no skunks allowed. Yeah, I think I might just play around random Asphelia. Have I cast Cruel Claw's Heist? I've cast Infamous Cruel Claw a few times though. This card? I've not cast this. I'm not a believer in it in Modern. 2 mana don't impact the board. It is kind of nice with Bowmaster though, huh? All right, thanks for playing. Scare skunk. What do you think of the new Ugin? Will it get Ugin's Labyrinth banned? I don't know. I think the card's awfully designed. It's the best Ugin's Labyrinth printable in the format, in my opinion. All right, let's get a trophy prediction. We're on a 7-match win streak now. Will it get Labyrinth banned? I don't know. Honestly, for me, I think I would prefer K Command to get banned instead of Labyrinth. Although, like, if you ban Labyrinth, K Command is worse, so maybe it's fine. But now it feels like no matter what you play, it just incidentally beats Boros. I don't know how this has happened, but it's how it feels. Yeah, you would think that Ugin would not work well with Eldrazi cards. One more Shelly, main in consideration. I'm not really interested in another main deck 4-drop, especially with all the like Narsets and Echoes, but I mean, it wouldn't be the worst. All right, there's a Devourer of Destiny. Now, this matchup is a big part of the reason why we're on the plan. Gives you the ability to just do something big against them instead of slowly waiting to die. They ban Temple if anything. I think you would ban Lab over Temple, but we'll see. Looks like we're up against it Through the Breach variant. Should be better for us too. We'd rather them. Yeah, I don't know, but I will say that they did also print a pretty good like main deckable anti-mana card. So there's that with the new dragon. Card's not like incredible or anything, but that is nice. If New Ugin breaks Modern yet again, Standard or Legacy. Well, the thing about New Ugin that's nice is that it's not Nadu. It's not Boros Energy. It's not yikes. It's not a card that is going to almost ever be able to just make it where you can't beat it. Like with Boros Energy, you know, you could brew around it, but with big mana and combo, but you couldn't do anything else. With Nadu, it's like you had no choice. Nadu was just one of these you could never have a good matchup against it, no matter what. When it comes to an Ugin deck, you can have a good matchup. You can play any combo deck. You can play any aggro deck. You can play a land destruction strategy, and all of these are going to be good against it. And if you're playing a mid-range or control deck, you also, you know, you can choose to have a lot of pieces against it, but these pieces won't necessarily work, and this is you'll be unfavored, but you can still win, despite this Ugin being really miserable for you. I think it will be fine for a while, and I'm gonna try to not let it put a rain on my parade. But I just think this card is really poorly designed. I think it just has way too much text on it. Getting Through the Breached? Hopefully not. I don't think we couldn't really play around this anyways. All right, very good draw from our opponent. We could technically keep playing. Ugin doesn't worry me. Like it's just really poorly designed more than anything. I agree. I don't think it's going to ruin the format. I think it's just a card that makes gameplay a lot worse. Right, in their beginning of combat phase, they cast another Through the Breach. Put a Devour into play probably. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Good draw. Good draw. All right, let's bring in the Consigns. Now, usually I want Harbinger in these kinds of matchups. I think against Breach is not very good. Let's not play it. Let's cut all my Fatal Pushes. I want to cut my Bitter Triumph. Maybe just one Dispute. Is no one worried about the blue head? No, that card's not going to be a big impactor. That card is, like, tell me a deck it could possibly be problematic in. But it's, you know, it's also, like, If you want anti-counterspell cards, this is the Veil of Summer, Cavern of Souls, Besage You format. I'm not worried about it. I mean, Frog Consign is a really nice couple cards to have. We're on the play with a surveil. Let me do a hypergeometric calculator. Probably gonna mulligan though. And also, like, this is also a format with Sink into the Stupor. This is a format with, okay, so population size 52 after we fetch, sample size 2, successes 21 because we'll have fetched 65%. Cut snares. I mean, they should have like 6 or 7 targets. I think this is a mulligan at 65, where we just kind of lose the game if we brick, and this hand is just that hand but better. Painter is actually a counter to Ugin. Well, they still just get to draw a bunch of cards and make some mana with it, and has 9 loyalty. But yeah. Wait, no, it's not. It just Painter isn't counter to Ugin. Makes everything a color, and Ugin just exiles everything. Wait a second. No, I'm pretty sure Ugin says non-land. All of your spells aren't colorless. Ah, but they just cast the Ugin, and when they cast the Ugin, they exile the thing, right? I see what you mean, though. They graveyard an Ulamog. I don't think they have the card Gorya's Vengeance in their deck. If they do, they do. Froggy, froggy. If they have the Yggdrasil here, it's just so unfortunate. I mean, we do lose because they cast Stock Up, but we don't lose the next turn. I guess you could have consigned the Yggdrasil thing. The attack. Trigger. Do you consider Stock Up? No. If I'm playing Narset and Echo, I'm not going to play Stock Up. It's too many 3s. Temur Sultai. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, target player mills 4. You may play Lance in the graveyard. So many Crucible World power creeps, huh? But it's just not Band Station. I mean, there are several ways to combo with Breach besides Grinding Station. Banning Grinding Station instead of Breach would be potentially the single worst BNR decision of all time, besides banning Splinter Twin in the first place, of course. But I think it's even worse than banning Bridge from Below. I can just dispute. Okay, let me double check. I'm playing 3 Watery Graves. I'm pretty sure I am. I play so many decks, hard to remember 100%. Not playing 3 Watery Graves. Oh, there it is. It's down here. Yeah, almost caught me. I almost didn't dispute. What about unbanning Troll? Unbanning Troll is bad. I genuinely think just banning Grinding Station instead of Breach would be worse. It would be one of the just nonsense choices ever. Oh, sorry. I should have fetched, but I should have either not played my land first. I shouldn't have played my land then drawn because I could have drawn the Watery Grave. Is there a way to track my records on Moxfield, like commenting 4-3 feels bad versus combo decks? If you want to do that yourself, that's fine for your own records, but it's not. I just play too much that I'm not super interested in start Excel spreadsheeting. It might be helpful, but I just kind of prefer to do other stuff with my time. Because I don't want to discard any of these. Yeah, no one will expect the Amber ban. Okay, can discard some of these. Although Geier reach with double Bowmaster. Okay, they put a Devourer into their hand, so they have another Eldrazi Temple or a... We might as well surveil first. Not a lot of info there. Seems like a counterspell's in order. Nice. Yeah, I think I want to keep the Geier Reach with double Bowmaster. It's going to be presenting more damage than discarding it to Frog, right? Now it's 3 damage. Yeah, I agree the return ability on Labyrinth was really unnecessary. Yeah, they mentioned that it combos with Breach, but it's, again, the ability to combo with Breach is not really remarkable. That card is pretty easy to combo with, you know. It's fun that it does, though. You know, you can combo Breach with Altar of Dementia and Demi-Lich. It's like, you know, you could... There's a lot of ways to do it. Okay, you know we're going to go for the Geier Reach win. Yeah, maybe Disputes are better than the Snares. I'm a bit worried about, like, Chalice, but... They showed us stock up, and I cannot beat stock up otherwise. I was just thinking that, you know, we got really lucky to have Consign Frog. So happy to have Consign Frog again. They reveal another Devour of Destiny. They keep 7 cards. I think they mulled a 5 last game also. So going to be a little bit of work on the draw here, especially with double Surveil Land in their hand, but obviously I'm not going to mulligan. This would be like an insane 5. So they exile a Binding, a Null Drifter, and an Ulamog. Another turn 1 Labyrinth. I think all 3 games they've gone turn 1 Labyrinth. Is there tension between Bowmasters Narset as combo pieces to Eon, or am I missing something? Yeah, I don't know what you're missing, but you're missing something. There's no tension there. There's no anti-synergy at all. Oh, so the anti-synergy that Narset turns off the ability for them to draw extra cards. I think that's fine. I'm not worried at all about that. But I see how you could come to that conclusion. I get it. Okay, 4 cards in their hand. We did Narset Wheel. I think we did it in our last 5th match for sure. We have not Narset Wheeled very often. That's true. We've done it at least once. Yes, I mean, yeah. I totally didn't even realize that there was any tension. But yeah, there's some. Okay, so they have K command. They're making spawns, which is always what you don't want to see. So I think I go Narset digging for Force. Gotta grab Force over Consign, as painful as that is. Gotta not lose it through the Breach here. If they had Ugin instead of Devourer, where we could force Devourer. Okay, force this, pitch the Tamiyo. We might have a, like, dispute. We have a second Yggdrasil. Second Yggdrasil, huh? Okay, pretty good. So next turn we can Narset Wheel. Yep. Gotta do this. We can put a lot of pressure on our opponent too. Do they hit off the Yggdrasil? It's pretty unlikely they hit the first time. They hit a Devourer of Destiny. So if they attack the Narset with the Devourer, I can discard the Echo and I can chump block. But I might just be... I don't know if I can put enough pressure on them. We'll see. 3 cards in their hand here. Hitting Force Echo is like so perfect off the Narset. Opponent passes the turn. An untapped land would be pretty nice, so I could hold up Counterspell. They have Ugin's Binding? Yeah, they get a binding command. I think I'm gonna get in. There's only one sink in the deck. Also, Narset doesn't have enough loyalty to minus. So glad we chose to play around K command. We'd have lost immediately. Not quite lucky enough to draw Consign, but it's actually a pretty good draw. Could maybe bounce this next turn. No next turn. The guy, 64 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Not trophying this league, unfortunately. Fought hard. Needed him to brick one more time. Why not let the command go through and then just wheel? Maybe that was the better line. So like one thing is this Yggdrasil is in play and it's very, very dangerous. I'm going to lose to it pretty quickly. So the second Tamiyo, I'm no longer going to force to protect the first one. If I not that I necessarily could. I mean, they would have had 0 cards because they would have already drawn 1 off the command, so that would have left them empty-handed. Yeah, and still dead to the Emrakul, right? Like, their hand is not what matters in this spot. It's the Emrakul. I don't know. I guess I felt like I did a pretty good job explaining that the first time. Sometimes I just feel like I could do better on these explanations because they don't seem to be getting through. I don't know what I could have said differently. I have the swamp on my hands, so I guess I don't care that much about the Harbinger. Well, they have another Unearth. I guess I have to force that. Want to draw. I think I liked echoing more than they blank for one more turn, but both lines are reasonable. Well, I guess I don't even understand how. Like, how do you come to that conclusion, right? Because like, you know, if you echo, you're also hoping they blank for one more turn, right? It's not echo and then hope they don't blank for a turn, or it's echo and then we don't lose the Yggdrasil if they hit. It's hold up counterspell for whatever they have next turn, hope they brick on the Yggdrasil, and then kill them with the echo next turn because our frog is still alive, or get close to killing them because the frog is still alive. So I don't know. I don't think I'm missing anything, but let me know, I guess. Echo, hope they blank. If you draw Consign, stop Annihilator. But I was just dead to the damage is the problem with that line. They have 2 cards left still. Echo lets us block with a jumped frog. No, it doesn't because they would have resolved the K command. Yeah, I think that we just took the right line, chat. I know it didn't work out, but I think it just was the right line, and I would take it again. Like that, yeah, no, yeah. Take 2, trigger the Bowmaster. 4 cards in their hand. Plays the Darkslick Shores. Is it Kaito? Murktide. So here I can like block Murktide, Tainted Indulgence, sack Clue, and flip the Tamiyo to keep it around. I don't know how valuable that even is. Seems like the line though. Yeah, it's good to talk through lines over. I agree. So I probably should have sacked the clue first. Dude, their draw was ridiculous this game. the turn 2 frog, the turn 3 double unearth into Murktide double counterspell. To game 3 we go. Alright, so last time I think I cut all. Did I cut all my echoes against them last time? I think we played against a Death Shadow build last time. Let's sideboard like this, I think. Just away from I think the echo stuff is just too hard to set up. And Narset's just kind of a nice 2-for-1 with some extra text. Good thing Counter Magic will be bad with that new rare land from Dragonstorm. Yeah, it's interesting to me how much play people seem to think that card will see. I think it'll be very, very fringe. Especially in like the Otawara lore and revealed sync into the Stupor format. It's not like this is just like an incidental blue utility land and there are no other options. There's so many options. I got a mulligan. I mean, Bitter Triumph is really good, but I think it's the card we put back anyways. Yeah, like Amulet Titan is definitely... Oh, whoa, Oculus surveilled into the yard. I guess I keep this on top so I can push this if they unearth it. Spike, you're thinking about it wrong. It's not which play wins, which one draws more. Ah, of course. Is it like a new cavern? I mean, it is somewhat similar to a new cavern, yeah. But like this is the thing in Titan, Titan currently does not play Cavern of Souls. And this is also something that I think is kind of interesting about the Titan is weak to Frog argument. Like, Titan could be much better against Frog if they just played a single Cavern of Souls. For whatever that's worth. But, yeah, I do think I would just play Cavern instead, usually. You can play one of each also. Okay, so we don't care much about Nihil Spellbomb since we boarded out the Echoes. Yeah, it does sometimes sight in the Cavern, that's true. Dude, they are an unearth god here. Okay, so our push, untap, slam, Narset seems like a line here. Just wondering, do you think Beseech the Mirror in a Ketramos, Hate Bear, Silver Bullets deck could be decent? That's not a tree I'd spend a lot of time barking up, but... If you have a vision, I encourage you to explore it. Break on the Narset. Tough. What would you like to see unbanned in Modern? I'd really like to see this time around Jitte, Birthing Pod, Deathrite Shaman. Right, come on, big money. Take it. Yeah, I would expect them to not have Harbinger in post board. No way Death Threat is a safe unban with Ketramos around. Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem. However, the Ketramos decks are pretty contained. And this new Ugin is going to be insanely good against the Ketramos decks. Like, I kind of don't even think Ketramos is going to be a very playable strategy necessarily. Post Breach ban, post Ugin printing, but I would not unban anything without vigorous playtesting. I'll say this also. Like, if Modern is about Ketramos Deathred Shaman, that's probably a pretty good thing for it to be about. that's probably a great thing for Modern to be about. I'm gonna try Aki with Ugin in it. We're gonna play Ugin, and we're gonna play it in a few different shells. It goes in like any Ugin's Labyrinth shell. Another Unearth. Maybe we should have main phased the Indulgence. Could have found a Spellbomb. Yep. You should Geier Reach. We do have a Geier Reach in the deck, just not in play A. I disagree. It's a good thing for Modern to be if it's 5-color good stuff catch your most. I think it would be like black-white or maybe like it's black-white Mardu or Abzan. It's not 5-color catch your most. Yeah, I think you could make, you know, a good argument about not unbanning Deathrite, but this is what I would do. I think it's time. Like I like the unbanning of Opal and Looting and Green Sun really like flipped my script on like these kind of classic iconic modern cards too. These cards that I used to think would never be okay to come off. I think they just look really different now, and they're also fun. And I think it's good when Modern becomes more about classic modern cards, iconic modern cards versus Modern Horizon stuff. This seems like a good direction to lead into. Okay, let's do a vintage cube draft to wind the day up here. I think let's do this instead of going into the backup deck.